All right, we're good to
Man.
go. I am gonna hit go. Here we go.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
There we go. I'm trying to match the pose with the guy in my photo.
Right, there you go. Almost there. Almost there. So you just need the sad Joey from Friends with the little rain thing happening, and then you're good.
He kind of is, yeah. It's like kind of smoky here too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I'll jump ahead and say we're talking about how to push through as a business person when the going gets rough. Is that more or less
Pretty much. That's
correct?
well, it talks about the ups and the downs, so it's got
Oh,
both
ups and the
sides.
downs. Oh, I should have done a kind of yin yang, like the smiling face, laughing face, like
Oh, the theater masks.
the theater masks. Yeah.
That could have worked too. That could have worked too.
I just hang on. Yeah, I looked like this guy today, the guy in my photo.
Oh no, what happened?
Oh, I just Google
Rough.
ads, man. Google all the Google products.
Oh yeah. Did they move all the buttons again? I love that when that happens.
They just I don't know, man. It's insanity. It's complete insanity. It's like you just want to do something simple, I'd be like, okay, I just want to track my conversions. And it's like I can't even describe how stupid it is because it's too stupid. Like, okay, so just give me a code. I'll put the code on my website and then make that code track all the things that happen on the website. No. Well, I installed the code. No, you didn't. If
Oh.
you didn't, it was like literally today. I was like, okay, here's the code, and they're like, nope, it's not there. I'm like, oh shoot, and they're like, if you want to troubleshoot it, just click here. I'm like, okay, go to the troubleshooter. I'm like, tell me, troubleshooter, what's going on? Troubleshooter's like, yep, there's the code.
Of course.
Troubleshooter's like, everything's hunky dory.
So, what was that? There was a good meme for coding. It was 99 bugs of code or bugs of lines in the code, 99 bugs of lines, take one down, patch it around, 137 bugs of lines in the code. So,
Yeah.
that's just the way it works.
And I
So,
don't know. I'm not even coding. Like I'm not even that level of guy here. I'm just trying to use a commercial product
yeah.
created by the way, one of the most powerful, wealthiest companies that has ever existed in the history of Earth. And they can't pay a smart guy. They can't find a real clever guy to make this all as simple as possible.
Well, it's not quite idiot proof. Ta-da. But
Yeah. I didn't even comb my hair. I wanted to keep the look of like frazzlement. I didn't even
Basil, there.
frazzle. I didn't even make my hair look good today.
We will name it befrazzlement.
Befrazzlement. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just like it's super demoralizing because you're like, okay, I'm gonna, let's get to work here. I'm gonna set this thing up, and then you spend the rest of the day trying to figure out why it won't set up properly, and then the day's over, and then you're like, oh, I didn't actually do any of the things. I just spent the day trying to figure out the things.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Some days
And
it's like, this should be easy, right? And then no.
no,
So this should be 15 minutes, right? 3 hours later.
yeah, God,
So
how are you doing, Earl? Your eyeballs are working?
mostly. Switching glasses helped a lot. Switching glasses helped a lot. So I got a different pair of glasses on today. Actually, it's the same glasses I have on in this picture. So
Oh,
but
all right.
so I found the old glasses and threw them on, and for whatever reason, these ones don't give you as much as a headache as my normal glasses, but they're the same prescriptions. I don't really know what the difference is, but yeah, who knows?
There's something in the way the glass is ground. I don't know.
Don't know, don't understand. Head stopped hurting, so I'm like, this is great. So I
Perfect.
can function for longer than 2 hours a day at a time, which is nice.
I've noticed that if you have, excuse me, do bird watching. If you
Yeah.
have cheap binoculars, something about the way they're cut, like if you're looking around, you start to feel nauseous.
Hmm.
Just something about the way the glass is ground. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, I've had the cheap binoculars and the nice binoculars, and for whatever reason, the nice binoculars do something that stabilize the movement, even though you're whipping around the same stuff.
Yeah.
But something the way the glasses are ground. So there you go. But
Yeah. I was operating for the longest time with a pair of $100 binoculars. Thought that was okay. And then last Christmas, after Christmas and the Boxing Day sales, I decided to treat myself to a pair of $300 binoculars. Those are great.
mm,
And I was talking to these guys at a optics store about my experience with my $300 binoculars, and I was like, they're really great. And they're like, do yourself a favor, never look through a pair of $4,000 binoculars, because then you won't be able to go back to your $300 binoculars.
it's just like my old phones, right? Like as the phones increase in DPI on the screen and visibility power, and the pixel gets smaller, so everything gets cleaner. I can't look at my old stuff anymore. I look at some old laptop from 2008 or 9 or something we have just kicking around. I look at it going, how the hell did I work on this for 8 hours a day? I have no idea. Like I think my eyes would start bleeding at this point. So yeah.
You ever try watching a movie on VHS?
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah. It's like you look at it and you're like, it's the lines are going across the screen,
Yeah,
and it's sort of the fades in and out, the color's all wrong, and it's like, really, we actually watched movies on this and thought it was fine?
that was back in the day, man. I still have old tapes on Betamax.
Oh my god, never did Betamax myself. I clearly remember the first time I saw a DVD in action. I went to my friend's house and his parents had a DVD player. He's like, check this out. He threw a DVD on, and I was like, there we go.
It's real. We're here now.
We're here. Yeah, finally we can actually watch a movie without getting headaches. I remember I told people, I was like, no, I saw one of these DVDs, and I was like, it's like someone just opened up a window and you're just watching what happened on the other side of the window. It's not even on a TV
Plus
anymore.
the high definition TVs the first time. I'm like, this is too real. Like I can't watch this. This is
Yeah,
hurts my brain.
yeah. And then they had the soap opera effect. Remember that? That was all the rage.
Yep.
And then people were like, no, stop doing that. I remember I went into a store and they had a big high def TV and with the soap opera effect on, and they were playing The Hobbit.
Okay.
And I was like, the definition is so high that stone wall behind them now looks like a styrofoam wall.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were counting on a little bit of the low definition to blur it slightly. So you go, oh yeah, that's a stone wall. But now with this like ultra super high def, you're like, it looks like it's styrofoam now.
Well,
So
then now
go back. We've gone too far.
Get away. You can't get away with some of those old special effects like back in the day because the blurriness worked to your favor. So.
Exactly. I could go on about this kind of thing. But how was your week? Is you've selected this topic of the ups and downs of entrepreneurialism. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurialism. But was there something this week that caused you to choose this topic? Works for me because I'm annoyed. But
a couple of folks were asking me what to do when, because entrepreneurial journey is up and down, right? There's a roller coaster bit of effect to it, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not, and you got to kind of ride along with it, right? So I had some down days with the whole eyeballs being down. Like I was down for I think 2 or 3 days. I couldn't do anything. I was like, that's good. So the problem is that when your eyes are down, you can't even just chill and relax. All I want to do is play video games on the couch because my head hurts, but can't even do that because I can't see anything. So
Right.
can't see, so I can't watch TV, can't do that, can't do this. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go play piano now because I can do that blindfolded. So there you go. So one of the few things I can do that without using my eyes. So I'm like, all right, guess we're doing this now. So but yeah, I mean, so you have to figure out what you can do during times of up and down, and depends on the up and down and what the situation is, right? So like I said, I couldn't see, so I just practiced piano a bunch because the only thing I could do. So
well, now you're that much better at piano.
well, yeah, I memorized a bunch of old songs from back in the day, and I can play more stuff now. But it just that's all I could do. So make lemon out of lemons, right?
Yeah, I like that picture somebody made of like, this is how you think it is, and it's like the left hand side is failure and the right hand side is success.
Mm.
Right. And it's sort of like, oh, you pick one and you pick this one and you have failure or success. And it's like, it's actually like, oh, failure, success, failure, like it's a big mishmash of hitting failures and going back to successes. And
absolutely.
So that's the
I'm a big fan of the stoicism type thinking, like the Marcus Aurelius, the obstacle is the way, right? So
well, Hopefully that works with Google.
Hit your head against the keyboard long enough, you might push the right button. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm really surprised I've never smashed a laptop in all my time. I wanted to. Oh, I've wanted to. All right. So you said you looked through this. You said that the AI really killed it this time, eh?
Oh yeah, like I don't normally read them beforehand, but we actually came up with the show topic and ideation and everything like way ahead of time. Like, hey, look, we got something here, and so I actually had time to read it in between. Usually, I'm literally firing it in 5 minutes before the show, and then madly pasting it into our show notes. But today we figured out a couple hours ahead, so I'm like, hey, this is cool.
Nice.
So I had some time to actually read it, and I enjoyed this one. So there you go.
Cool. All right. Well, this is interesting. This is kind of a different vibe for us, eh? It's not tricks and nuts and bolts. It's a little bit more spiritual almost.
Well, there's multiple parts to the entrepreneurial journey. It's not all just numbers and math or just hacks and tricks and da 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 da. It's not all just money, right? Like so, there's a lot of it that filters around the mentality of the entrepreneur, and I find that as a business coach and consultant, like it's like I kind of have to go through all of the little bits and pieces because your customer might be doing fine financially wise, but they're a wreck inside their head. You got to deal with that too, right? It's all part and parcel of the same thing.
Yeah. It's
so
yeah, I guess that what's that?
We're human, right? Something bad affects you in your home life, it's gonna spill over into your work life too, and vice versa.
Yeah, sometimes there's gonna be some hand holding there in the coaching process.
Absolutely. So the question to ChatGPT was weird today because I usually start off with acting as a marketing expert or acting as a business professional or acting as this thing. Today I had to use a different opening.
So you said acting as a psych expert.
Yep.
Which is interesting, and actually, I feel it's psychological. You know where the derivation of the word psyche actually is.
What is it?
It's actually spirit.
Okay.
Oddly enough, that's the word. Spirit. So psychology is actually the study of the spirit. Believe it or not, I don't think it really means that anymore, but I guess mind and spirit becomes interchangeable. So, acting as a psych expert, how does an entrepreneur deal with the ups and downs of entrepreneurialism? I'm not sure that's a word. Can you give 2 examples of what to do in an upswing and 2 examples of what to do in a downswing? Lastly, can you give a hot tip to really keep the ball rolling through the good times and the bad? So what does ChatGPT have to say to us today? How is this robot going to mollify our human emotions? So number 1, it says to celebrate and reflect. When things are going well, take the time to acknowledge your achievements. Reflect on what contributed to the success and use it as a learning opportunity for future endeavors. Earl.
Agreed. Celebrating and reflecting is an important thing. We were talking with one of our colleagues this morning, and he was just getting restarted into the business world and getting restarted into the business life. And he was just, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right direction? And the hilarious thing is he is further ahead in a couple of weeks than some business owners I know who've been plugging away for years. He's further ahead in a couple of weeks just with what he does and what practices he does. I think he's at like 3 or 4, meetings booked now at this point through, organic outreach on social media. And he's like, I'm only at 3 meetings, 4 meetings. And we're like, wait, no, don't throw yourself under the bus. Celebrate and reflect upon that, right? You were at 0, absolute 0. No connections. No one wanted to talk to you. No one wanted to give you the time of day. And now you're at 4 meetings and it's only been a couple of weeks and you've just barely gotten the ball rolling. Congratulations, are in order, right? Celebrate that. One of my other mentors, he talks about intention, behavior, result, right? It's the intention and then there's the behavior and then it's the result. And if you don't have the intention, then you're never going to do anything. If you don't do the behavior, then nothing ever happens. And the result is the result of what happens when you slam those 2 things together, right? And so I'm obviously oversimplifying it, but celebration and reflection are super important because what gets rewarded gets repeated. What gets rewarded gets repeated. We're all Pavlov's dog, and we're all sitting there and the bell rings and you start salivating. And if you celebrate the behaviors that end up with the right results, you will end up with more of the right results because you're celebrating the behaviors. You can't control the result. All you can control is the behavior. So if you celebrate and reflect upon the right behaviors, you'll accidentally stumble upon the right results. So there you go. Celebrate and reflect. Absolutely. And celebrate every win, even the small ones, because every single one of those means that you're doing a behavior correctly, which means that you're getting a result that you want.
I got a tip for work at home entrepreneurs though.
What's that?
Don't reward yourself with a delicious treat.
Oh, not every single time, because then you'll just take a nap, because that's what happens to me sometimes. I'm like, hey, I'm literally before our call today, I ran out of meetings. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get some Chinese food. So I literally went to go get Chinese food. It's a giant pile of rice, and you probably shouldn't eat that much rice, especially as diabetic. So, anyways, I ate a bunch of rice and almost took a nap before our show. So yeah, don't celebrate with food every single time. Yeah, it's like, maybe get yourself a game or something different than food every single time, because then if you win a lot, you'll also get fat. So that's what happened to me. I got super big when I made my first $1,000,000. I went from a svelte, like 190 to like 275. So just ballooned like crazy, because every meeting had to be a meal. And then, oh, we got the deal. Time to celebrate. Let's eat.
Time to celebrate.
And 6 and 7 meals a day, and you end up gaining a lot of weight after a while, because it's a lot of meals, right? So now I don't do as many meet and greet at eating places, or we just do a coffee or something small, so I'm not like packing on the pounds and the calories every single time. But find different ways to celebrate as well, whether it's just going for a stroll in the park. Reward yourself in other ways that are equally as enjoyable.
Yeah, video game, movie, have a salad. Get a reward salad every time you succeed.
Funny enough, in Vegas, I used to do that, because the Paris had the best damn Cobb salad I've ever had. So I'm like, all right, we close the deal and going for the Cobb salad at the Paris. So there you go.
Nice.
So now I associate Cobb salad at Paris with Earl did good. So do it again. So
there you go.
Yeah.
The question is, can you reverse
there's the ringing
it?
bell for Pavlov's dog, and Earl comes running, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. The question is, can you reverse it? Can you eat the salad, and then that'll make you do something good?
The funny thing is, it's like smiling, right? Your brain doesn't know why you're smiling. You're just smiling, so it assumes that either you're happy or crazy. And either way, it's just like, okay, well, let's give him some dopamine. That's what he wants.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Apparently you ate too much.
Yeah. All right. So number 2 here is invest and diversify. During prosperous times, consider reinvesting profits wisely. Explore new opportunities or diversify your business to minimize risk. This not only keeps things exciting, but also strengthens your overall business resilience. Oh, this is deep.
Where the hell was this when I needed this stupid piece of advice? Because oh my god,
they hadn't invented ChatGPT yet.
No, they hadn't yet. So this is circa 2008. I was, still making a couple $1,000,000 a year, just on autopilot. The market just took a tank, and I was just about to diversify. I was about to move my big pile of money into real estate, because that's kind of where I was going to go ahead next. Never got the chance. Got completely wiped out. Lost $20 million in funding and this and that and everything else. Everything went sideways. The market tanked. Everything blew up in my face. I'd wished somebody had told me this sooner. I was reading some books and says, hey, you should probably diversify. I'm like, hey, that sounds like a great idea. Too late by like a week. And so I was like, damn it. So I'd no, but the funny thing is, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have gained the knowledge and the know-how from the grit that I had to survive through to make it to the next point anyways. So anyway, so I invest and diversify. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking at a couple of interesting investments myself now, like looking into other businesses to move into, like the one that we're doing. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's not even just necessarily financially, but like investing your time into other things when you have some of it.
Yeah. And just learning other skill sets that you might be able to pick up that are complementary to your current set of strengths, right? So I never, if you had asked me in my early 20s, Earl, you think you'd be like the boss or like a leader or in a management type position or role, I always disdained and didn't like these types of positions and roles. And it's like So, but now I am that manager boss type person. And so I wish I had spent more time understanding leadership training and I wouldn't have to read so many damn leadership books now. I wish I read them back then, right? So I'd be able to leverage against that now. So I'd best to diversify, yeah, in other arenas for your money, in other arenas for your mind. Because you never know where that's going to save you in the late in the later game.
Nice. All right, let's talk lows. Should have started with the lows and ended on the highs, don't you think?
Oh, maybe.
All right, in the lows, adapt and innovate. In tough times, adaptability is key. Be open to change and innovation. Assess what's not working and be willing to pivot your strategies or even your business model if necessary. Now, I get a question for this one. When I read this.
that one hurts.
Yeah. Here's the question, though. How do you differentiate when this is a time to buckle down and keep going, or this is a time to abandon what you're doing because it's clearly not working? I think that's a very key distinction.
No one to hold them, no one to fold them is what you're asking.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you see, any successful entrepreneur's got that story about, oh man, it was rough and this thing happened and that thing happened, but boy, we kept going and we really succeeded. But then you see these yabos on Dragon's Den where the dragons are like, this is a stupid idea. You've wasted your money. You're $200,000 into this. Quit now. And they're like, I'm never giving up. I'm pursuing my dreams. And they're like, stop, for the love of God, stop. So how do you know? How do you know? That is a tough question. That's the longest I've seen you ever think about one of my questions.
There's a really good framework that a gentleman by the name of Blair Dunkley constructed. And it talks about evaluation versus judgment. And evaluation versus judgment, they're two different things, right? Evaluation, the difference between evaluation and judgment is evaluation is externally verifiable. You can externally verify whether or not this is a good idea or a bad idea, right? So, external verification in a business model would be like, has anyone else done this before? Is there anything else similar to this in the industry that's been successful? And what makes them different from what you're doing now? How come you're not successful versus those guys being successful? And it's not as black or white as that, right? It's not success and not success. There's a million shades of gray in between, right? It's effective versus ineffective. Ineffective is ineffective, but it might still work, right? So understanding the difference between effective and ineffective, understanding the difference between judgment versus evaluation, right? Judgment is a pure judgment call where it's my gut instinct. We're just going to do this because I said so, right? That's a judgment call. Whereas evaluation is, okay, well, let's take a look at what's going on, what's happening outside. Is anyone else pulling this off? If they're pulling it off, there's nothing new under the sun. What are they doing that we're not doing that we can replicate or duplicate or rob and just copy straight out? And what can we do to emulate that same success? And so, adapting and innovation is super key to surviving those tough times. But when do you fold them? When do you hold them? If you have an idea and it's never been done before, and you try it to a certain extent, and you've redrawn your line in the sand 3 times, and you've already retreated a bunch of times, and you failed that many times, and you've failed to see anyone else in the similar market or similar demographic or similar anything succeed in this space, there might be a reason why, right? So look at that, and then that's when you can make that decision. But the problem is that to make that decision, you have to be in a logical and not an emotional place. And the problem is when it comes for time for that decision, you better bet your ass that you're going to be somewhat emotionally attached to that decision. And that's how come people hang on to the loser for so long. Yeah, and they don't make it across.
It's the sunk cost fallacy, right?
Yeah, I'm already so far in the hole, I might as well keep going. Well, the problem is that if no one's ever pulled it off before, you might not be the first one to pull this one off, right? So there you go.
All right.
And this one hit hard for me because
me.
we lost 80% of our business during the whole shutdowns of everything. Like we lost 80% of our customers. So this adaptation and innovation, assess what's not working and be willing to pivot. Man, that hard. And even your business model if necessary. And the funny thing is that's what got me to where I am today. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't have pivoted so hard because I was doing all right. And so that shift, that causation caused me to switch gears and do something different. And the funny thing is, I'm happier doing what I'm doing now than what I was doing back then. So, adapting and innovating, sometimes it's a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise.
All right. You're a little ahead of the game this time, and hopefully we'll spend some extra time on the hack of the week. Number 2 for the lows, lean on your network. Oh, lean on me. Don't hesitate to reach out to mentors, fellow entrepreneurs, or your support network. Sometimes an external perspective can provide valuable insights or even emotional support during challenging periods.
A lot of people don't do this enough, and they feel like they can just do it on their own, do it by themselves. And that's not the case, right? Nobody is a solo success anything. Like if it weren't for your customers, you wouldn't be a success either, right? So you need other people. You need the network to make things go. We as humans are a tribal species. We like hanging out with each other for the most part, not necessarily giant groups, but at least not being alone and lonely yourself, right? And so don't hesitate to reach out to mentors. I know some people who are mentorless, right? They don't have a mentor, and that's not good. Like have somebody that you can reach out to bounce ideas off of, ask questions of, etc., etc. And even just peers. So fellow entrepreneurs, that's great. Your support network, even if they're not entrepreneurs, right? Like, so my spouse is not entrepreneurial. She wants to clock in, clock out, call it a day, come home, leave work and home separate entities unto themselves, and not have one spill over into the other. But she can still be my emotional support network, even though she's not an entrepreneur, and prop me up and go, okay, well, you did this before, or hey, that sounds a little sketchy or crazy, maybe we shouldn't go down that path, and just have a sounding board, right? So leaning on your network is super, super, super important. If I didn't lean on my network, I wouldn't be here today. So here's this heart-based story, since we're talking about the feelies and stuff. My grandma, my grandpa, and my dad all died in quick succession of each other, right? So let's just very small time periods in between. And I thought that, you know what, if it had just been one of them and I just buried myself in work, I'd be able to bottle it up and it'd be fine. We can keep going. But the thing is, it was a cascading failure, and it just happened and it happened and it happened again. And the thing that set me off, the thing that actually made me actually go a little bit crazy, was my friend's dog was eaten by another dog. So I had a couple of family members pass, a couple of friends pass, someone with cancer passed. Then, like I just lost like 5, 6 friends in quick succession, and family members in quick succession. My friend's dog got eaten like by a pit bull, and the big dog ate the little dog, and it was a tiny little, little poodle thing, right? Just a puppy. And that broke my heart, and that was it. I just snapped. And I needed that emotional support from my network. I leaned on my friends, like, hey guys, I'm really sad right now. And they're like, what happened, man? I'm like, well, this. And I'm like, dude, that was a couple of years. Yeah, but you just push it down and it rises back up. You push it down, it rises back up. And eventually you're going to find that one thing that just snaps. And then you go a little nuts. And, my advice is do that before you go crazy, right? So
right, don't wait to snap first.
Well, yeah, don't wait for the snap. It starts to bend. You call somebody, man. Like you call somebody, right? And if you're going crazy, call somebody. And even if they can't help it, even if they can't help the situation, they'll be there for you to vent to. They'll be there for that shoulder to lean on. They'll be there to help you de-stress and do something that's different, right? So there you go. That's lean on your network for sure, 100%. I wish I had these 2 pieces of advice. Actually, I wish I had 3 pieces of advice, prior to me running into these damn things myself. So,
I've got, sadly, I've got my girlfriend also works from home, so we're always here for each other. Yeah. And no matter how, no matter how pissed off I am and how bummed out I am about how poorly something's going, she steadfastly refuses to believe that I'm a total failure.
Right.
And sees that there's still hope. So that's kind of handy. That's useful to have around.
Well, it's handy having a partner who isn't in the same space as you, because then you're both not in the dumps at the exact same time. Because then it's sad news for everybody, right? So when you guys have different skill sets and different places where you go hang out, and so at first I was heartbroken that my wife didn't want to continue working with me, because she was my business partner before, right? We made millions together. It was great. But then, after kids, mindset shifts, everything changes, everything became family centric and kid centric, and that sort of thing. So she wanted to leave work at home. She didn't want to intermix and mingle these things anymore. And, at the time I didn't get it, but I understand the wisdom in it now, right? Because if she didn't do that and we were both in the dumps, then what, right? So, yeah, definitely makes sense. So
Yeah.
we've outsourced the initial hack of the week to the powers that be of the AI now. So,
Do you have a backup hack of the week as well? You do.
well, no, I have my own hack of the week.
Your own hack of the week. All right.
I always try to beat up the try to outplay what the AI gave us, and so here you
Got to
go.
be more clever than a robot.
Yeah.
So this is a hot tip. I wonder if you asked it for hack of the week, what it would say.
I will next time.
To keep the momentum going, hot tip: cultivate resilience and mindfulness. Oh, this robot is telling us to be mindful. That's kind of ironic. Building resilience is crucial for weathering the storms of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurialism. Develop a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities for growth. Practice mindfulness to stay present and focused, whether you're riding the highs or navigating the lows. This balance can help you make more informed decisions and maintain a steady course through the ups and downs.
Building resilience, for sure, absolutely, and that the whole mindset that sees challenges and opportunities for growth. I I did this thing because of one of my kung fu teachers, so martial arts teachers. My kung fu teacher, he challenged me to figure out 100 ways to do or to use one movement. So instead of practicing 100 movements, I just practice one movement, but figure out 100 ways to do it and 100 ways to make it useful. And I never understood the depth of that lesson until I took it to other places, not just martial arts, right? So from the martial arts perspective, it was that, don't fear the guy who practices 10,000 kicks, one time each. Be damn scared of the guy who does one kick 10,000 times, because if he gets you, you're dead. So so yeah, but I mean, the funny thing is this mindfulness and staying present and staying focused and understanding that 10,000 kick the other way around, but for business also works too, right? So having that mindfulness and not letting the good stuff get to your head, but then not letting the bad stuff drag you down either. That's the even keeled balance that's tough to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you get excited when stuff starts working out. You're like, yes. You just lose your mind for a little bit. And the thing is, you can lose your mind on the happy and the sad.
Yeah. I found that was when I was working in roofing sales. You close a deal and you're like, I am the mightiest salesperson of all time. All shall tremble before me. And then you close a deal and you're like, why do they keep me around? Just fire me. I'm useless. I can't do anything. It's like, you want to try to find that middle ground there.
But that goes back to what we were talking about initially, the intention, behavior, result, right? Like it's not the result that you're trying to celebrate or demean yourself over or whatever. It's the behavior, right? Because the behavior is the only thing you actually have a chance to change. You can't change the result, right? The result happens because of the behavior. So reward intention, reward behavior, and the results are their own reward.
Nice.
So there you go.
All right.
It's that time. I'm going to find the button here. I got it. Ready?
You're getting close. Hack of the week.
So I was part of this mastermind, and they used to give us these tasks to work on. And the tasks were like marketing, sales, HR. There's just stuff that you needed to do within your company. And how we graded ourselves was, if you did it, you got 1 point. If you didn't do it, you got 0 points. Okay. But if you delegated it and got someone else on your team to do it instead, you got 3 points. And if you deleted it all, like completely, because you figured out some better way to do it, or you figured out how to get someone else to do it better, and they came up with a better idea and a better everything, and you just deleted it off because it just no longer made sense, you got 5 points. And so
if you kind of superseded the need to do it at all.
Correct. And that way you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to delegate it. It was just toast because you did another action that completely obliterated the need to do that first action. So this do, delegate, delete thing with the points and scoring system, that that is something that's going to keep you even keeled across the good times and the bad, right? Because if you learn to do delegate delete, you're getting more and more efficient with your time, which means if you need the time to take off a little bit to think, if you delegate a bunch of stuff, you have that time to think, right? If you delete a bunch of this excess stuff, and you're not just doing busy work, right? Just being busy itself isn't a good thing, right? It's being efficient. So deleting stuff, made all that difference in the world too, which gave you time to think, which gave you time to, reconsider your positions and think your way through stuff. Is one hack. The other hack was just check your calendar and use your calendar religiously. And this is going to sound weird. Just draw a happy face and a sad face next to things on your calendar. Use your calendar religiously for the next 2 weeks. Like everything you do, I don't care.
Like things coming up, like in the future, not how they were.
Things that happen, things that already happened.
So already happened. Yeah,
and just block off the next 2 weeks, figure out what you did, rewind, go backwards and review. Adults do not learn from sight. They do not learn from touch. They do not learn from sound. We don't learn from learning. We learn from reviewing. Right? That's how come you don't win and you don't learn anything when you win. When you win, you just go fist pump in the air and you go, yeah. You don't review it. You don't go, hey, how'd that work? Right? You just go, yeah, we won, the best in the world. For you guys. And then you lose. And when you lose, you go, hey, wait, what happened? What was the name of the truck that got me? And you write this stuff down and you go, yeah, that hurt. Let's not do that one again. Right? And then you remember, hey, see it again. Ha, it's trying to get me again. I'm going to dodge that one. Right? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. But, check your calendar, happy, sad exercise. Just put what makes you happy, what makes you sad. And again, we've talked about this do, delegate, lead thing. Delegate the stuff that makes you sad. And eventually you'll have a calendar kind of like mine where everything you do makes you happy, right? So that's kind of the hack of the week. So if you can do those things, you'll be more resilient because you'll have other team members who you can lean on that can do the things that you don't like to do and you probably suck at anyways, right? So there you go. That's a wrap.
I guess a little early ending today, but that's okay. Give everybody some time to reflect and delegate some things and delete some things off their calendars.
I thought that was a good mixture of good, bad, and ugly, and hot tip from the AI. Because whenever I go more than 2 on each thing, if we go 3 or 4 or whatever, we used to do 10, and we used to just blast through them all. And say, okay, we just go and go. I don't know. I think we got more time to talk about each point this time through. So maybe they'll just add one more, and then that'll be the happy medium. So before 10 was too many, but maybe 4 is too little. So we'll try 6 and see if that
Number 6, 3 and 3, 3 yay, 3 nay for every point.
That sounds good. And then the AI hack, and then our hack.
Cool. We're settling into a groove here. One year in.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like the show has a thematic now. So it's like, hey, yeah, let's ask AI stuff and yell at it if it's wrong or right. So
it's the heckling AI show. Boo, AI, you're wrong. Boo.
Or good job, AI. In this case, it did good. It did good today. I was pleasantly surprised with these things, and those last 3 really hurt. I'm like, I wish someone told me this before. So it's just like, man, where the hell were you when I needed this? Damn AI. So, invent yourself faster next time.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's here now. I guess that's it then. So thank you to AI. Thank you, Earl, for being so insightful. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thank you all for making it through and enduring through the hard times. And let's celebrate some good times and see you next week, I guess. Yeah, the outro music ready to rock?
Host Dan, and I'm gonna hit play and play us out. Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
I love how we have hand signals in the whole bed now.
We're grooved in, man.